Congratulations, Valentina. Obviously, another flawless performance, it seemed like. How did you feel about the way things played out tonight?
Feels good. I working very hard for this fight. I didn't expect easy fight. And Lauren, she's a tough opponent. She's physically very, very strong, but I wanted to play my game. And, kind of like my ultimate goal as a martial artist to reach the level when your opponents, when they fighting each other, they looks like furious, powerful, very strong. But when they fight me, it's kind of like they cannot touch you, but you can finish them. It's kind of like what I want being as a martial artist, untouchable. This is kind of like next level of martial artist.
You feel like you accomplished that tonight?
I'm on my way.
Right. Anything that she did surprise you? I mean, obviously, your speed was very much an advantage. You showed some great grappling as well. I mean, was there anything that happened in there that did surprise you at all?
Actually, no. I was expecting more pressure, and I truly expected more pressure. And it was kind of like first round, I was like, okay, maybe it was kind of like a trap, and she was kind of like waiting for her moment. Second round, then I was like, okay, if you don't want, I will go for it.
Right. Is it? I just wonder if it's difficult for you, because I do feel like the expectations are so high. Like, I heard the crowd start to boo a little bit. It's like you have to go out there and score a highlight reel in the first round, or it's not okay. Is that a difficult expectation level for you to live up to?
No, it's not, because I understand if I gonna think about it, and it's gonna affect me during the fight, it's gonna affect my performance. And sometimes it can affect not in the best way. You're gonna rush to do something, and this is a mistake. So I learned that I cannot just follow with the boo from the crowd. I have to do my thing, because potentially the finish gonna come. They just have to wait.
Obviously, as a champion, you don't have to make matchups, right? They have to come to you. But are there names that you want to fight? Like, are there things? I know you're looking about bettering yourself as a martial artist, but are there opponents that you want to face moving forward?
I'm ready to fight anyone. And flyweight divisions, there are so many strong fighters. I didn't know how the fight gonna be against Jessica Andrade, Cynthia Calvillo. If Cynthia was kind of like top level, but Jessica just like smashed her. So I don't know what's gonna next. Who's the next opponent? But I can say that in flyweight division there is every time more and more names coming up. So I'm ready to fight all of them.
Nice. And I guess last thing for me, we'll find out the name, but how about when do you think you want to fight again? Are you taking the rest of this year off, or I mean, what's the plan for you moving forward?
I'm pretty healthy. I just have small things that after the fight, during the training camp, and it's gonna be fixed like very quickly, easy. So right now, what is next for me? It's next Saturday fight of my sister. So she is coming in her fight week, and I will be in her corner supporting her. So she gonna do all the same, and yeah, I don't know what's when it's like next, because I'm ready to fight tomorrow. But what you say have for me, it's different.
Valentina right here. Valentina, when you obviously train so that the fight is easy. You've talked about that before. But when you're out there in the cage and you are performing at this level, do you feel a higher level of focus? Do you feel something special when you're out there and you are at the top of your game?
You cannot feel. You feel something, but you cannot fall in this feeling, because once you are starting like the side things started affect you, and you start to like pay more attention, for example, to the crowd, to some details, to the person who's sitting like over there, and it's kind of like you losing perspective of the fight, and you can lose your moment to win the fight, to finish the fight, or like whatever. That's why when you are there inside of the octagon, you don't have right to think about something else, about your performance, about like how your opponent feel. You have just work. You have to work and toward your victory. After the job is done, now you can realize what it was, how it was, what you felt or something like that. But during that moment, you don't have a right to think about it.
When you go back and watch your fights, what do you look at? Like when you see a performance like tonight or like your performance against Jessica Andrade, do you see a lot of the things that you want to improve? Do you ever impress yourself with what you were able to do? What do you see?
Every time. There is, for martial artists, there is no time to stop and think, oh, I'm the greatest one, I'm the best one. If you're retired, you can say that. But if you're active fighter, you don't have a choice only to develop yourself, like to be better every single day. Even if you're good, you can even add something more into your game and be better. So I think as a martial artist, everyone had to have this mindset.
You obviously grew up in Kyrgyzstan. You represent Latin America. They put you on the broadcast. Tu español, perfecto. ¿Representas uno? Do you represent one over the other? Because obviously you live so many places and you represent so many when you do all these public appearances on TV and everything.
Every single country where I live, when I travel, it takes special place in my heart. In Peru, in Latin America, I lived for 8 years, and definitely the culture is very close to me. I grew up in Kyrgyzstan, very beautiful mountain country, and very deep in traditions. And I respect all countries traditions, the culture, people, and I just want to experience more from my travel to know, not just come there and take a picture and say, okay, I've been in this country, that's okay. But I want to really know how it's like there, what people think and how they live, what they eat. And I think this is the best school of life.
Over here, Valentina. In the third round, when you threw that head kick and you almost hit her like you hit Jessica, it seemed like right then and there you kind of knew I can get her out of there. Was that the moment when you kind of push the button on the gas pedal?
It was kind of what round it was? Third? Fourth? Round. What round?
Huh?
What round the
Third
kick
round.
was?
Third round.
Round. It's kind of was this point when I started to accelerate a little bit, and I knew it's kind of third, fourth, fifth. It's kind of when you're starting to put more speed and more pressure, and definitely it would be very good to finish the fight like that with another head kick KO, but it didn't happen that time, and instead it was a hook, right hook, that was kind of leaded to the finish of the fight.
I know you cleaned out the division and everything at 125. Would you ever go back to 135 to get two belts at two different weight classes, regardless if Amanda's there or whatever? Is that something that you want to do before you get out, or you're 125 forever? You're just going to line them up and knock them down?
You know, many people, they started in one weight class and then kind of oh, I want to explore what is there, what is here. And in my experience, it was different because I didn't have a choice to fight in my own weight class. And I had to fight 135 with the bigger girls who cut in their weight from 160 pounds, 150 pounds, and my walk weight is 135. So I just cut 10 pounds. For 125, it's nothing. And 125 flyweight, it's my natural weight class. I feel powerful. I feel that my speed on point as the best. It's just my weight class, and I am happy that I don't have to. I just can think about my performance the best way what I can do, because I fought so many times in 135, and now I have choice when I can fight and do amazing thing in my real weight class. Why I don't have to do that? But also I open for any opportunity that, for example, UFC tomorrow will call and say, okay, Valentina, we have this fight. Would you accept? I open for anything.
you want that trilogy? You said like your eyes lit up when you thought about that.
I'm open for it. I never was choosing my opponents. I'm not the person who, okay, this name looks good to me, I will fight her. No, this name's kind of like not good, I'm not fighting her. No, they have a name for me, I accept the fight because I want to fight with the best ones in the world. This is how you prove that you are the best, right? And if like destiny wants to make it happen, I'm here, right now, here.
That leads me to another question. When you see these chicks here in fight week or around, can you tell if they really on your level? Because it seems like you have them mentally defeated before they get in there because they need their personal best just to compete with you. How does it feel to have that, I won't say power, but it seems like you kind of know midway through fight week you click. It's like, I would say when we had the press conference on Thursday, it clicked. And you're like, oh, I got her. I can tell by your body language. Is that pretty accurate?
I cannot say that it's... they are not coming already broken for the fight. When it's starting, the break, it's starting when their strategy for the fight doesn't work. If they have okay, I was thinking that I can do that, and they starting to realize it's not happening, and I play my game. They wanted to play their game, but it's not happening. I just play my game, and this is when it starts, the breakage. So it's not before the fight, it's during the fight, in the first seconds of the fight.
And final question for me, are you pound for pound the best women fighter in the world, in your opinion?
And what is your opinion?
Hey, you're greatness to me. Hey, they put a gold jacket on you. You got the Hall of Fame. They sign you up in the future.
You answered your question.
Valentina, to your right over here. With this win, it's your sixth title defense, and with that, you join Amanda Nunes and Ronda Rousey as the only three women to have gotten that many title defenses. Is that special for you?
For me, what is special for me, to discover how far can I go, to discover what is my limit as a human, what is my limit as a martial artist. I don't want to put numbers goals. This is what I want, 10-time defense, 12-time defense. I will finish my career at certain age. So when you put the number in front of you, you kind of starting to walk towards the end, because once you reach it, what's next? You will have to find some more numbers, right? But as a martial artist, I want to discover what is my limit exactly, because I don't want to work toward my end. I'm right at the in the beginning of my way, and I want to see what is there, what is waiting for me, and I just very love the lifestyle what I have, training hard, competing, to feel this insane energy from the fans after the fight, in the fight. It's just martial arts giving so much to me. So I never will be so deeply grateful. I'm really so grateful to martial arts, because I'm the person what I am right now because of martial arts.
Very well said. And you mentioned your sister's fight coming up. I'm just curious, what are your thoughts on her opponent, Casey O'Neill, a young flyweight coming up herself? What do you think about her?
Oh, she's good. She's young. She's hungry. But my sister, she's different level, and she's trained very hard for this fight, and she will put in the great performance, because I saw her training. I was in her training camp, and she's amazing shape right now. So she gonna do everything right, and she gonna go to the victory as well.
And I'm curious, do you have any next travel plans lined up, and what the next spot's going to be?
I was mentioning that I was starting my training camp living on the boat and traveling in Puget Sound, Washington State. And kind of when we get notice about the fight, we had to come back to Las Vegas, because it was time already to have the second hard part, already trainings. So I really want to go and explore more of Puget Sound, because it's amazing, beautiful place. And definitely boating. It's my goal to reach like next level of boating, next sail maybe. So yeah, I will go towards that.
Valentina, aquí en español, por favor, felicidades por tu victoria. Son 6 defensas del título. ¿Tú te sientes invencible?
Yo me siento que tengo que trabajar más, siempre, más que todos. Para ser invencible, tú tienes que trabajar más duro que todo el mundo. No importa si eres campeona o no, para seguir estar en el lugar donde estás, tú no puedes relajar y pensar, oh, soy invencible, nadie puede tocarme. Porque en segundo, cuando lo piensas, tú puedes perder todo. Y esta es la idea que no me deja descansar, no descansar como pensar que soy invencible, ¿cierto? Pero esto es que me siempre motiva a entrenar más y más duro. Y también mi equipo, mi entrenador, maestro Pavel, él tiene misma vista para cómo un deportista tiene que entrenar. Siempre adelante, siempre desarrollarse como la persona y como artista marcial.
Tú se lo dedicaste a la gente de América Latina. ¿Tú sientes que cada día, a pesar de que eres de Kirguistán, de Bielorrusia, pero acabas de decir que viviste en Perú 8 años, ¿tú sientes que el fanático latinoamericano te apoya cada día más?
Claro que sí, porque para mí América Latina siempre va a tener un espacio en mi corazón muy especial, porque cuando nosotros vivimos 8 años en Latinoamérica, nosotros viajamos en diferentes países y cultura de Latinoamérica me encanta, muy abierta la gente, la comida siempre es perfecta. Y nosotros viajamos, estuvimos en Perú, viajamos a Brasil, Argentina, a Paraguay, Uruguay, también estuvimos muchas veces en México, tenemos muy buenos amigos en México y claro que me encanta la cultura del idioma, porque yo creo que español es un idioma muy, muy bonita.
Y ya lo último, поздравляю тебя с победой.
Спасибо большое.
Valentina, right here. On your walk back to the locker room, you made a detour to the ring girls. They seemed surprised, as many of us were. What was that all about?
Beautiful women is a decoration of any event, and I want people to know that. And no one have right to say that they are useless, because they are on the place where they have to be. They were here at the beginning, and it's like no matter. You will come in any event, you will see beautiful women. And you, as a man, like everyone, enjoy it. It's kind of like beautiful, right? And this is decoration. That's why this is my message, that beautiful woman, it's a decoration of any event.
Many of us felt very blessed to get to be there tonight for this entire fight card and to watch you perform as well. You seem to derive joy from every aspect of the evening, on the walk back to the ring girls, to taking selfies with the fans, in the entire process, because we've heard from so many fighters recently that don't like to fight. George St. Pierre said during the Hall of Fame he never wanted to actually fight. We heard what Nick said. What do you derive the most joy from the beginning of training camp to walking back there and getting back to the locker room?
Entire process. You cannot just like say, okay, it's the best moment when your hands raised up and you are feeling that like, oh yes, you did what you. Of course, it feels so amazing. It's so powerful, the feeling. But you know, actually, it's like the entire process. Hard trainings day by day, every time you are waking up and you know you have to push yourself to your limits, but you know you have to do it for the best performance. And every day you kind of like learning something else. You are learning more as a martial artist. For example, you know, also I think the idea to be in martial arts for a long time, it all depends how you can manage your fight and your rest. And for example, my team, my coach Pavel, and he has like the perfect kind of like combination where we train, then we travel. You can rest, you can train in the travel, but it's not the same type when you are training like in the training camp. And in my example, you can see exactly how it can work. 28 years in martial arts. Now my opponents, some of them, they have like 23 years old or so 22. So even like doesn't have that age as I do martial arts. So it tells that the age, it's not a like issue. It's not something that put you the limit. It's your limit. It's in your head. And if you don't put any limits for you, you just go and explore how far you can go. This is what I do day by day, exploring.
Valentina, felicidades con el triunfo. Has podido llegar a lo más alto de tu categoría, de tu carrera. ¿Cuáles eran las metas que tenías cuando inició tu carrera en el UFC y has podido alcanzarlas o todavía te quedan cosas para...?
Claro que sí, la meta principal desde inicio era para mí ser la campeona de UFC, porque UFC es la organización de MMA más grande de todo el mundo y yo creo que en general, como el deporte, como artes marcial, MMA es deporte número 1 en todo el mundo. No es boxeo, no es algo diferente, es MMA. Y claro que ser parte de UFC es un privilegio también para cada deportista. Y mi meta principal era ser la campeona de UFC. Yo lo alcancé y ahora quiero mantenerlo más... no sé por cuánto, no sé, solamente quiero seguir ganando y hacer mi trabajo bien como puedo.
Muy bien, y finalmente, ¿cuál es tu rutina con tu familia, con tu hermana, con tu equipo? ¿Qué tienes para celebrar? ¿Qué haces cuando no estamos contigo? ¿Vas a un club, discoteca, cierta comida? ¿Qué es lo que te hace sonreír ya que tienes todo en alto?
No soy la persona de discotecas, no. No tengo fiestas, no me encanta, no me gusta porque no es mi estilo. Soy persona de naturaleza, me gusta mucho cocinar y siempre nosotros cuando, por ejemplo, con amigos, nosotros cocinamos en la casa y me gusta disfrutar el proceso. No solamente cuando te sirven la comida, tú ya comes y vas, no. Cuando tú disfrutas de todo el proceso. Y no sé, me parece que es lo mejor porque tú puedes conversar con tus amigos, de verdad conocerlos y no solamente para venir a decir hola, hola, ¿cómo estás? Y ya te vas.
De acuerdo, pues felicidades, muchas gracias por todo y que viva Shevchenko.
Gracias.
Is it true that there's a rumor that when you retire, you're going to work as an interpreter at the United Nations?
Who told that? I didn't hear it yet.
No, you speak beautifully, though. So how many languages do you speak?
I speak English, Russian, Spanish, and I'm learning Thai.
Well, you do an excellent job. You speak almost as well as you fight.
Yes, I very like the learning languages because I think that this perspective, if you know how to speak with like local people, it's kind of like you can explore, you can understand the traditions, the culture of the country. It's not kind of like, as I mentioned before, come in and take picture and like go. It's kind of like tourist. I don't like to be a tourist. I like to be a person who live in the country. And for example, Thailand for me have every time like special place in my heart. I have how many, like 12 world championship only in Muay Thai, and like plus mixed martial arts and kickboxing K1, it's all together 17 times world champion. So, but Muay Thai, it's every time have like a very special place for me. That's why I want to learn language, to understand the people more, understand their tradition, understand their culture, understand how to cook their food, and just to speak with people.
Valentina,
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
everyone asked you if you're going to move up to 135. Is it possible for you to go down to strawweight?
It means like to starve, not have good food, not enjoy the food, and I could do that, but it's like I don't enjoy the process. I find myself the best shape 125. I know a lot of straw weights, they have like 135 and go down to 115, but I feel 125 is the perfect weight class for me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hola Valentina, primero que nada, felicidades en otra gran victoria. Te quería preguntar, cuando tú no estás peleando, ¿tú ves UFC, boxeo? ¿Te gusta ver este deporte? ¿O cuando estás afuera no peleando, te gusta hacer otras cosas?
Me gusta ver peleas, me gusta ver UFC, claro que sí, siempre lo veo, y también me gusta hacer otras cosas.
¿Quiénes son algunas de las personas que te gustan ver cuando tú no estás peleando? ¿Quién tú sigues y quién tú seguías cuando estabas subiendo? ¿Quién te gustaba mirar?
De verdad, nunca no tenía una persona que estoy, o si está peleando, yo voy a ver las peleas. Es que siempre a mí me gusta ver la técnica, porque no importa, tienes un nombre grande o todavía no grande, puedes mostrar algo diferente. Y para estar en un nivel que siempre tú tienes que observar nuevas técnicas, algunas estrategias nuevas, tú tienes que mirar las peleas. Y yo cuando veo las peleas, yo lo veo especialmente de este lado, no solamente estar como un fan, pero como un profesional que tiene que estar al día con la técnica moderna.
Okay. Y creo que normalmente tú haces tu baile cuando ya te han dicho que has ganado, pero esta vez como que lo hiciste rápidamente. ¿Fue por alguna razón que no esperaste como normalmente lo haces?
Tú sabes, yo cuando... mi tradición de hacer este baile, eso viene de mis peleas de Muay Thai. Y cuando peleé en Muay Thai, yo siempre salía con este baile, con la música y bailando al ring. Pero en MMA nosotros decidimos cambiar para celebrar la victoria. Y como esta pelea, la victoria ya estaba como TKO, technical knockout, entonces no hay dudas, por eso ya...
Entiendo. Y mi última pregunta, obviamente tú estás peleando muy bien, sin duda alguna puedes pelear por mucho tiempo, pero ¿tienes en mente más o menos cuánto tiempo tú crees que vas a estar en el deporte? ¿Y qué son algunas de las cosas que tú piensas que te gustarían hacer después que termines con tu carrera?
Esa es la pregunta que hace unos minutos he respondido. Cuando tú pones la meta así, tú pones la edad así, y ya voy a pelear hasta esta edad. Entonces tú pones como un límite para tú mismo como peleadora, como persona. Y si tú pones un límite, esto significa tú empiezas a trabajar hasta tu final. Y yo no quiero trabajar a mi final, yo quiero desarrollarme como peleadora. Yo quiero ver hasta dónde puedo llegar, hasta dónde es el límite, porque cómo tú puedes de verdad ver en qué mi cuerpo está capaz, qué puede hacer. Entonces no hay datos, no hay cuándo, no hay dónde, solamente vivir mi vida que yo vivo y hacer lo que me encanta hacer.
Gracias, Valentina.
Gracias. Thank you.